Thanks very much, Bruce, and thanks for bringing so many people together to discuss EV. I think it's the first time I've seen so many people in Bali discussing EV for a long time, and also in the car park, seeing so many electric bikes here, one standing there, and also a battery charging. So it's really exciting to have everyone here discussing, looking through solutions in the transport sector, and for what Scale Climate Action have done and are doing with the team to bring all of you together. So really happy and pleasure to be here. I'm representing PT Solusi Mobilitas Listrik. For layman's terms and English terms, it's electric mobility solutions. And a little bit about the problem that we've just seen a massive introduction from Bruce to go through sort of what we're looking at and what we're here to discuss today. As he highlighted, sort of the key statistics. For Indonesia, the transportation sector is second largest to the power industry, which is very different to other countries across the globe. It's the highest sector for G20 representatives and scalability that's growing. So Indonesia's transportation sector, excluding aviation, is growing significantly and creating an impact for greenhouse gases, etc., because of petroleum bikes and cars and buses, etc., being put on the road. I think one of the major stats that's pretty large that you see, even post-COVID, in 2023, 6.4 million two-wheel vehicles were sold in Indonesia, which is pretty huge. And that's an increase excluding COVID factors of over 20% from 2022. So it's not like the problem's going anywhere, it's increasing and growing. So it's how do we impact it on a scale to transition from, okay, 6.4 million, and as Bruce says, and we'll touch upon in a bit, with the somewhat iffy data of 40,000 that are only electric right now, which is pretty crazy. Another stat that's quite interesting is Indonesia is actually the fourth largest two-wheeled owner in a household country in the world, third in Southeast Asia at 86%. So all the houses here, all the houses in Java, Sumba, Jakarta, etc., 86% of them own legitimately with a BPKB a two-wheel electric vehicle. Not yet, but a two-wheel vehicle, which is incredible. So in order to create an impact in the transportation sector outside of aviation, outside of large-scale shipping, it's really honing in to say, okay, what are we looking at on the two-wheel scale? And what we've done with an amazing team over the last now 5 years is to found Scoot and New Bali. So back in 2018, some amazing green school parents founded a rental company called Scoot. They came to the island, saw that there were an influx of two-wheel petrol vehicles, and sought, what is the problem? How can we not solve this? Back then, there was unfortunately only one model available, the VRQ1 first generation, which for anyone that's not technical, was a horrific motorbike. It was amazing as adoption, but it's so awesome to see how much technology has really advanced as to where we are now and what the bikes that are in the car park and here on display. And they took a leap of faith and accelerated adoption for EV for Bali specifically. That was a small rental fleet that then has accelerated now to over 500 units put on the road in Bali, across rental and sales, and we've also taken licensed distributorship for New in Bali and put on the, we'll get to sustainability in a bit, but we run the flagship dealer for New in Bali, and across the rental platforms and sale platform bikes, we've ridden over 300,000 kilometers, which is pretty awesome. Then looking at where we are in terms of what the EV market is and what the two-wheel market is potentially moving towards, Bruce touched on some pretty scary statistics that the government's put out and what they want to achieve, that they need to achieve to be able to put the solution in place. And the largest one is the second point, The target just for Bali by 2025, which is the end of next year, is 400,000 bikes. And the official statistic for the whole of Indonesia is only 40,000. So 10% across the whole population, and you want to fulfill that in just Bali in 24 months, less than that. It's pretty scary. So there's a big push, there's big numbers, but it's you guys, it's everyone here to implement and execute on putting those numbers into place. Just in Bali alone, there's over 5 million two-wheel bikes that are registered, and every year moving forward, there's 300,000 sold brand new every year. So that's growing and growing and growing. And the 400,000 compared to 300,000 is pretty easy to achieve. But compared to what the traction is of what EV has done so far, it's very different. And there's a big incentive from the government right now that's been implemented, which offers for locally produced electric vehicles a purchasing subsidy to the consumer. Official statistics, that's been in place for over a year and a half, and only 8,000 units are in process right now. So there's a lot of data being pushed through and not much traction. So we're not seeing a lot of bikes on the road, actual adoption, and the key thing is supply and also consumer awareness. An interesting study that was conducted by PwC at the end of last year, which took a survey of consumers across the whole of Indonesia to look at their purchasing potential contributions to the EV market over the next 5 years, showcased that consumers are willing to purchase at a 20% rate. So, i.e., they asked, in theory, it was 200,000 people, what would be your consumer behavior over the next 3, 1, 2, 5 years? And 20% of them said that in a motorbike that they would look to purchase an EV over an ICE, which is quite high. So it's all about us as providers, G'day, and other providers that are here today to fulfill that. One big thing that we'll discuss today, and we'll have a lot of questions that I'm excited to answer is, okay, it's EV, there's still some emission costs, there's still some aspects that are in the production cycle, etc. And one of the focus points for us at Solusi Mobilitas Listrik and within the group is to be focused on impact and sustainability. And we do that with various programs. And we're excited to say in our new flagship dealership in Sunur, we are the most sustainable new flagship across the globe. And working with partners like Sungai Watch, we actually put 13,000 or 12,600 plastic bags and 10,000 plastic cups collected from Bali rivers into our showcase materials. So this picture's our display cabinet, and then we worked with them on the proprietary technology. They just had an awesome launch on their new furniture production last week, which is epic, but it's all about working with how can we be sustainable on a production side, on a company side, for the whole value chain of the vehicle. And then on that, for EVs, when you ride an EV, you're already benefiting the environment compared to an ICE by 2/3. So riding an electric vehicle, you're already reducing the emissions by 2/3 by putting it on the road. There's that remainder effect, having charged with PLN, having charged with etc., that we're working on. Indonesia is actually the 4th largest contributor to EV charging for a coal-powered grid when it's got such a low amount of vehicles. So it's really focus on how can we transition with that. And we work on programs to carbon offset that last third. So to make every kilometer green. And then the last factor that we've been working for, I think, over 2 years is battery end of life. Where do the batteries go? What do you do with them? And we just started, after a lot of hard work, a project with an Australian company called Power Wells in Sumba. And we supplied the first 3 batteries to them. And they impact local communities with off-grid power generation. And so this unit here will take about 12 cells out of that battery and then put it into charging infrastructure to give electricity to rural villages in Indonesia. Then the biggest impact is transitioning and changing electric bikes for the car park that is out there. And we're proud to say over the last 4 years, we put 500 bikes on the road, etc. Some of the benefits that you can take from an electric bike, especially from any brand, and specifically New and Scoot, is to put a bike on the road that's electric compared to petrol is 8 times cheaper on the current petroleum costs. So you're looking at a 13K per litre per to max price and roughly a 2.3 per kilowatt hour IDR charge price. So to charge one of the bikes compared to filling it up with petrol is 8 times cheaper to run a bike. So that can rack up to about 400 or 500 Ks worth of savings per month, depending on how many kilometers you ride, which is pretty significant and something that people are really looking into now. Obviously, what we're all here to discuss about, less CO2 and air pollution. One of the awesome things that we do at New and Scoot is to provide branding on all the bikes for B2B partnerships. I think you guys have all seen them riding around, which is super exciting. And then we're really focused on the bottom line aspect, core impact via a profitable business to provide electric motorbikes in Bali. And very proud to say how many we've put on and really excited to be here with Bruce, G'day from Centric, and a lot of other providers that are here. Any questions we'll go through after G'day's presentation. There'll be quite a few of them, which is quite exciting to see. Any questions, let me know. We'll be here, and pretty much, let's make Bali electric. Thanks very much.